Hey, everybody. You know who it is. Um, I'm doing this video, people. I've done a video about this many times, but I'm hoping that if I can convince you of this, or at least get you looking more deeper into it, that it will lead you back towards the Bible. And that's where once I got this figured out, you have to go towards the Bible after that. So and this subject has come up a couple of times here in the last couple of weeks uh, on all your social media, all your big CNN, um, Fox News, all of them been covering it. But one of them was the American astronaut that was sent up to the space station that supposedly exists up in our sky, in a Russian rocket. Okay, this was, they said, would probably be the last time it ever happens, but it did happen this time, so it was historical or something. That's one of the stories. Then the other story is, um, oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I guess, is talking about how we've got asteroids coming in from some other part of the universe, that these asteroids are actually supposed to hit the day before the election, is what he's saying. But he's saying that they're going to come in and they could have a deadly virus on them. Uh, a deadly virus on them. And when they crash into the earth or crash through the atmosphere, release this deadly virus on everybody. Now, if that don't sound like them telling you what they're going to do, nothing does. But let's go back. Let's go back to what it takes for them just to get to space. Now, they claim space is like 60 miles above our head. You get into, there's no gravity and stuff like that. So they have to, in order to get to space, according to Google, they have to be doing 4.9 miles per second to leave the Earth's atmosphere and go into space. Now, 4.9 miles per second, people. You times that by 60, and we're going to find out how fast they're going in a minute. Okay? 4.9 times 60 equals 294 miles. Now, that's 294 miles in a minute. Now, we're going to times that 294 again by 60 in order to find out how many miles per hour they would be traveling. Understand, everybody? Everybody staying with me? Okay. 294 times 60 equals 17,640 miles per hour. 17,640 miles per hour is what it takes. They have to reach that speed, according to themselves and Google. They have to reach that speed in order to get into space. Now, let's say it's true, and what they say about space being at 60 miles, that until they get to space, they need 17,640 miles per hour to get there. At 60 miles, they're supposedly into space. The space station is sitting at 245 miles above the Earth, is what they say. 245 miles. Now, 60 of that, they have to be doing 17,640 miles to get into space. Now, you take this, if it's 60, it's, let's clear this. It's 200, wait a minute, 245 miles to the space station, and it's 60 miles to space. So we'll subtract 60 from the 245. That means once they reach space, They've got 185 miles to go to get to the space station. Now, listen up, folks. When they break into space, according to them now, when they break that space barrier at 60 miles, they've got 185 miles of vacuum of space to fly across before they get to the space station. And they're doing 17,640 some miles per hour. Once they hit space, there is no atmosphere to slow them down. They could not put a parachute out behind them and slow down according to it's a vacuum of space. There's nothing to slow them down. Even if they reversed thrust on the jet motors that got them there is nothing for those jet motors to reverse thrust against because there is no atmosphere. There is nothing for the jet motors to push against. There's nothing there for them to push against, folks. How do they slow a rocket that's doing 17,600 some miles per hour in 185 miles to stop it enough to even be near the space station? I mean, at 17,000 miles, almost 17, it's over 17 and a half thousand miles per hour, 17,500 miles per hour. You reach space, nothing there, no atmosphere, nothing. You are already moving at 17,000 miles an hour, and you need to stop at 185 miles. By the time you got that thing slowed down, you'd be 1,000 miles on the other side of it. It makes no sense, folks. It makes no sense. On top of it, they said that it took them 3 hours to go from where they lifted off the Earth to being at the space station. 3 hours. And they were doing 17,640 some miles per hour in order to get to space. And it took them 3 hours to go 180 miles once they got 185 miles once they got into space. Come on, folks. These numbers don't add up any more than the fake pandemic numbers add up. You guys still believe in this stuff? I mean, this don't even take common sense. All it takes is a little bit of math. Junior high math. Maybe even grade school math. That's all it takes, folks. You can prove they're lying to you. You know, we have these natural laws that nobody's been able to break them. They try to claim these natural laws can be broken just because they say so. In order for you to have, if you guys would just look up gas pressure and entropy of gas pressure, those things will explain to you there's no way possible to have what do they say? It's 17 to the negative something torr is the pressure on the Earth. You can't have that pressure next to a vacuum of space. There's nothing to contain it. In order to have that pressure, you have to have a container. No scientific books can explain the container, folks. They tried to. They even used gravity for a long time. But that all fell apart. Even Einstein said that gravity is not a provable force. So what'd they do? They grabbed up, what Einstein was saying is not that's not the force. Gravity is not the force. What causes that force is the bending of space-time. Bullshit, people. Time is a concept. It's not real. You cannot even manipulate it, to experiment with it, to test it, to see if because it's a concept, folks. It's not real. It's a concept. The bending of space-time is a concept. It is nothing more. So it cannot be a force that holds gas and water and everything else to 1,000 miles per hour spinning Earth, flying through a void of anything, vacuum of space. It isn't happening like that. It's not. These clowns even came up with, the glue was the thing that held their entire heliocentric model together. And when they now have nothing. They have nothing that's the glue that's holding it together. That's why I think a lot of this stuff's coming out now, because the evidence is overwhelming that they've been lying to us about everything. But they have no evidence. Everything they come up with, they say the Earth is a globe, a ball. That's a geometric shape. A geometric shape has a geometric edge. And if it's a geometric shape and has a geometric edge, that geometric edge will always be there. It won't be there one day and then 10 miles away the next day. It won't be like that, folks. It does not work like that. Now, the Bible comes up, the story in the Bible says that there's a firmament above us that separates the waters from above from the waters below. Well, that firmament would give us a pressurized atmosphere. And see, even the brain word, atmosphere, that's air that's circular, that's a ball, a sphere. That's a word that is a fallacy just by using it. It's a word they made up to convince you even more you're on a ball. The sky, it holds our pressure in the sky. They can't get past it. They've tried to blow it up many times. They've hit it with nukes, or that's what they've said. They can't get past it. That's why when these rockets take off, they don't go straight up. They go horizontal to the earth. They fly up straight up a little ways, but they always lay over and go horizontal with the earth. I've seen them all. From the 60s, I've seen the damn space shuttles down in Florida taking off. They all did the same thing. They are not going into space because space doesn't exist. It's a lie. It's a devil's herd lie to convince the masses they are nothing but what evolved from crap. People, you're going to keep letting them push you farther away from God, and it's going to be the destruction of your souls. Don't you understand that? At this time right now, with everything that's going on, you should be running towards God or running towards Jesus. That's who you should be running towards, not running towards man. Some man sitting in a White House or some man running to sit in a White House. These people ain't going to do nothing for you. Remember that. They're not going to do nothing for you. That's my rant for today, folks. You guys have a good day out there. We'll catch you the next time. May God bless us all. We're going to need it.